Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 13th February 2024. Let us generate bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly income trade and weekly income trade in this video. A small announcement, please. If this is your first visit to our channel, please understand we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training videos I kept in a playlist supply demand zone price action course at our YouTube channel. I also provided the link to this playlist in this YouTube video description. If you click on the link, you will get into this page. Once you get into the page, scroll down to the bottom of this page. Starting from lesson 1.1, all the lessons are available in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one and strengthen your skills related to supply demand zone price action. I have also provided the link to our Telegram channel in this YouTube video description. So please join in the Telegram channel. So each time when we release a new video, we will provide an update in the Telegram channel. That way it will be useful to you. You can also access links to all the earlier lessons and other analysis discussion links in the Telegram channel. Now let's get into report generation with the help of our NeoStock software. In bullish trade setup, our lower time frame zone is daily. So that's why I'm selecting the entry time frame as daily, and because it is a bullish trade setup, entry zone should be a demand zone. And look into the parameter bullish or bearish trade setup. So in this parameter on daily time frame, I'm selecting bullish. Now let us generate the stocks. Let us filter the stocks. So all these stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup. I will keep on scrolling this list. I'll be giving you only few seconds time. If you want to study any particular stock or parameter, please pause the video and then study the parameters. After that, you can proceed further. So total 99 stocks are filtered. All these stocks are supporting bullish trade setup. All these are all daily demand and supply zones. Because this list is very big, let us reduce the count by setting some filters. The first filter we are going to set, some of these zones might be demand zones, might be tested. Maybe you want only fresh zones. In case if you want fresh zones, so let's go back to this strategy builder and scroll down to the parameter test count. So in this test count, set the daily test count as minimum value 0 and maximum value 0. That indicates all the zones should be fresh zones. But if you want fewer fresh zones, you should also set rejection count also on daily time frame 0 and 0. But I am not setting because rejection count always helps in identifying strong order flow in that zone, even though it is tested. So let me filter. Now the list is reduced. Let me scroll down. Now 48 stocks are filtered. From 99, the list is reduced to 48. Still 48 is a big number for us to do analysis and study. So that is the reason why let us set the next parameter reward. Let us check, at least we should have a minimum 5% reward between demand zone and supply zone. At least 5% reward should be there because it is a monthly income trade, MIT. This is from daily demand zone to daily supply zone, a minimum 5% reward. For that, a parameter, look into the last parameter in this space, minimum range percent. This minimum range percent is nothing but distal line to distal line range between demand and supply zones. Or it need not be between demand and supply zones, it can be between demand zone to all-time high also. A minimum 5% range should be there. Demand zone to all-time high or demand zone to supply zone. So in the daily, I am setting the value 5. 5 indicates a minimum 5% reward. Now let us filter. Now the list is further reduced. Let me scroll down. Now 35 stocks are filtered. From 48, the list is come down to 35. So all these 35 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup. All these stocks are having the freshness as the zone test count as 0. And also all these stocks are having a minimum 5% reward. Now let us add one more filter, that is nearest to the demand zone. We want to find the stocks currently very close to the demand zone, because we have higher, if they are very close to the demand zone, there are higher chances we may get an entry tomorrow itself. For that we have a parameter. Look into the last parameter in this space. Minimum price person to reach the zone. Which zone? Demand zone, because entry zone we set as a demand zone. Okay, in daily time frame, that means in daily demand zone, at least what should be the minimum? Let us set from initially 1%. If the number is very less, we will set 2% or we will increase further. At least first verification we are checking, are there any stocks close to 1% level to the current demand zone, the daily demand zone. So no stocks are there within 1% to the daily demand zone. No stocks are there from this list. So for that what we do, let me go back and increase the percentage to 2%. Instead of 1%, let us check 2%. 2% close to the demand zone. That means if tomorrow 2% prices fell down, probably they will reach to the demand zone. So one stock is there. Godrej Consumer Properties. Because it is an all-time high stock. But currently it is moving towards all-time high. If you want to get an entry, tomorrow it should change the price direction and come to the demand zone. If they further go up, we may not get entry. That's why let us look for more stocks. So let us increase the percentage to 3%. The maximum price person to reach the zone from 2% to 3%. At least within 3% range, how many stocks are there? Below 3% level. Now these 4 stocks are filtered. And all these stocks are all-time high zones. And all these stocks prices are moving towards the all-time high, even though they are all fresh zones. If the price did not turn back, we did not get an entry. So let us check if there are any stocks near 4% level. 4% means minimum 4% has to fall down tomorrow. Then only we will get an entry. So anyway, I am changing 3% to 4%. Now 5 stocks are filtered. 1 stock is added, HR Motor. But this is also currently moving towards the supply zone. If due to any reason tomorrow, if it's changed the direction, fell down to 4% of its price, then we get an entry in this stock. Let us see the last filter, 5%. Let us don't go beyond 5. The reason is we are looking for a minimum 5% reward. So that's why let us check maximum up to within 5% to the zone. If not tomorrow, maybe next 1 or 2 days, you may get an entry. Now 12 stocks are filtered. Canara Bank is currently moving towards the demand zone, the price direction. Remaining all are either moving to all-time high or towards the supply zone. The only stock moving towards the demand zone is Canara Bank. It doesn't mean we won't get entry in the remaining stocks. It is possible. Sometimes stocks, what will happen? They move towards the supply zone or all-time high, but due to some reason, all of a sudden they change the price direction, come back to the demand zone. Now the pending orders in the demand zone again push the prices up. That way we get the entry. So that's why we should not lose the hope if the price direction is not towards the demand zone. See, this price direction is towards the demand zone. What happens maybe tomorrow, it changes the price direction and again further it will go up. That possibility is also there. Anything will happen. But one advantage with these stocks is we have a minimum 5% reward is there. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Now let us see bullish trade setup for, not bullish, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. So entry time frame is daily, that is LTF time frame. And the LTF zone should be supply zone because it is a bearish trade setup. And in bullish or bearish trade setup parameter, at daily we are selecting bearish. Let us filter. No stocks are there. This is what happens generally when Nifty is at all-time high. Mostly we may not get bearish trade setup related stocks. Or very few you get sometimes, but currently not available. Because the trend, price direction, everything should be supported. Because we provided a very strict filters for identifying bullish and bearish trade setup. Okay, let's go back. Now what we do, we will generate for weekly income trade. In weekly income trade, bullish trade setup, our entry time frame should be 75. That means LTF time frame 75 minutes. First we will generate bullish trade setup, selecting demand zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup parameter, at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting bullish. Let me filter. You got a very big list. Let me scroll down the list for your reference. See, what is the advantage I'm showing all these stocks? If you have any favorite stocks from this list, first probably you will focus on those stocks. So that's why I'm scrolling down and I'm showing you the complete list. See, total 70 stocks are filtered. Currently 70 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup at 75 minutes, at 75 minutes time frame. I mean, what I mean to say, weekly income trade. That is LTF is 75 minutes. So now, because of the list is very big, let us apply the filters. The first filter is fresh zones. That means test count should be 0. Because we are currently displaying 75 minute zones, at the test count you need to select 75 minutes time frame. Here minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Now the list is reduced. Let me scroll down. Now only 32 stocks are filtered. But we will check the reward. Based on the reward also we will filter. At least a minimum 3% reward we will expect because this is a weekly income trade between 75 minutes demand zone and supply zone or 75 minutes demand zone and all-time high. A minimum 3% reward should be there. So for that D to D range, that is a minimum range is a distal line to distal line range or distal line to all-time high. That is 75 minutes time frame. I am setting the value 3. Let me filter. Now the list is only 18 stocks. Now it is easy for you to analyze these 18 stocks. But still, if you want to know the stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone, let us add one more filter. First, we will see between 1% to 3% only because the range is 3%. 1%, 2%, 3%. These three levels let us check. That is maximum price percent to reach the zone. Because this is bullish trade setup demand zone, 75 minutes demand zone. At 75 minutes, I'm setting 1. 1 indicates 1%, close to 1%. Yes, one stock is there, close to 1%. This is ABB. Currently, price is moving towards the supply zone. Due to any reason, tomorrow, if your price come back and give an entry, you can catch this stock. Moreover, it is recently created zone. Today only this zone is created, this demand zone. And a reward 4.77% is there between 75 minutes demand zone and supply zone. Let us see the stocks with 2% level. I'm changing at 75 minutes time frame, 1% I'm changing to 2%. Total 3 stocks are there. One is already 1% ABB. 2 more stocks we got. Coforge. This is all-time high 75 minute zone. And another one is Voltas is there within 2%. And moreover, this demand zone is a high liquidity zone and supply zone is also high liquidity zone. And a bullish trade setup. And it is having a reward 4.41%. And we will see the last filter 3% level maximum. Maximum price percent to reach the zone. I'm changing 2% to 3%. Now total 8 stocks are filtered. We got within 3% level, Godrej Properties, HDFC AMC, NMDC, Siemens and Tata Communication are there. Tata Communication is moving towards the demand zone. Price direction. And Godrej Consumer Properties is also moving towards the demand zone. And NMDC is also moving towards the demand zone. 3 stocks price direction is moving, but they're all within 3% level. If the price fell down by 3%, probably you may get an entry tomorrow. Some stocks might be between 2% to 3%, maybe 2.1, 2.2% also might be there. Within 3% means those stocks not in within 2% level, the remaining stocks are between 2% to 3%. If suppose 2.1%, maybe there are higher chances tomorrow we may get an entry if any stock fell down by 2%, 2.1%. Okay, this is about a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. And the last report is a bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. So because it is weekly income trade, I am selecting the LTF zone as 75 minutes lower time frame zone. And the type should be supply zone because it is bearish trade setup. And bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I am selecting bearish. Now let us generate the report. These 10 stocks are filtered. Because the list is very small, now easily you can filter. So what I do, instead of setting the remaining filters, I just check stocks near to the supply zone. That is the only thing I will check. Maximum price percent to reach the zone. Let me check 75 minutes 1% level. I am not setting the freshness and reward because the list itself is very. See, these 4 stocks are within 4% level. Bajaj Finance is already tested. And Deepak Nitrate is a PS zone. You cannot trade PS zone. Because let me set the POst count to 0. Test count I will leave, that you can filter by reading those reports. PS zones we don't trade. That's why I'm setting 0, 0. POst count should be 0, 0. So 3 stocks are filtered within 1% level. Some stocks are having very less reward, but you have to plan. Within 2% level, we will check the stocks. Why I didn't set reward is because the list itself is small list. Sometimes you want stocks with 2%. If you compromise, okay. From this list, you can plan a trade. But why we are checking near? Tomorrow there are higher chances you may get a trade. Now these stocks are within 2%. Already previously listed 3 stocks are within 1% and remaining 2 stocks are within 2% level. 2% means 2% near to the zone. And the last report we will check maximum 3% within the zone. 3%. One more stock is added. That's it. So this is about bullish and bearish trade setups for a monthly income trade and weekly income trade. So this report is mainly useful for swing traders or positional traders. Hope this information will be useful to you for your trade planning and analysis. Let us all meet again in our next video. Thank you.